When we think of ancient Greece, names like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle often come to mind. These were giants of philosophy, leaving an indelible mark on Western thought. But what about the figures who shaped the political landscape of their time? What about the leaders who defended their civilization from annihilation? One such figure, often overshadowed by his contemporaries, is Aristides. Known to history as Aristides the Just, his story is one of integrity, selflessness, and unwavering dedication to his city-state Athens. While his name might not resonate as loudly as some, his impact on the trajectory of ancient Greece and indeed Western civilization is undeniable. Aristides lived in an era of great upheaval and transformation. The world he inhabited was teetering on the precipice of change, caught between the ambitions of a rising Persian Empire and the fierce independence of the Greek city-states. It was against this backdrop of impending conflict that Aristides rose to prominence. His story is not just about battles won and lost, but about the choices we make when confronted with extraordinary circumstances. It's about the enduring power of principles like justice and fairness, even in the face of overwhelming odds. By delving into the life of Aristides, we uncover a hidden chapter in ancient Greek history, one that speaks volumes about the values that shaped this pivotal civilization. In the following pages, we'll journey back in time, peeling back the layers of history to reveal the man behind the moniker, the Just. To truly understand Aristides, we must first understand the world in which he lived. Ancient Athens, a bustling metropolis on the shores of the Aegean Sea, was more than just a city. It was an idea. It was a beacon of democracy in a world ruled by monarchs and tyrants. Here, citizens gathered in the agora, the heart of the city, to debate, discuss, and participate in the governance of their own lives. This spirit of civic engagement, of active participation in the affairs of the state, permeated Athenian society. It fostered an environment where individuals were expected to not only voice their opinions, but also to be prepared to defend their city with their lives. In this crucible of democracy, where every citizen had a voice and a stake in the future of their city, Aristides was born. He grew up amidst the vibrant intellectual and political debates that characterized Athenian life. From a young age, he would have witnessed firsthand the power of democracy, of citizens from all walks of life coming together to shape their collective destiny. But this fledgling democracy, barely a generation old, was about to face its greatest test. To the east, across the Aegean Sea, a storm was brewing. The storm was the Persian Empire, under the rule of Darius I, was a force to be reckoned with. Vast, wealthy, and hungry for conquest, the Persians had set their sights on Greece. Their ambition was to crush the independent Greek city-states and add them to their ever-expanding empire. The stage was set for a clash of civilizations, a confrontation that would determine the fate of the ancient world. For the Greeks, the stakes could not have been higher. Their freedom, their way of life, their very existence hung in the balance. They were vastly outnumbered and outmatched in resources by the Persian war machine. Yet they refused to bow to tyranny. They chose to fight. They chose defiance. Among the Athenians who answered the call to arms was Aristides. He was about to step onto the world stage, not as a philosopher or a poet, but as a soldier, a statesman, and ultimately a legend. His story, intertwined with the epic struggle against the Persian Empire, is a testament to the courage, resilience, and unwavering belief in freedom that defined the Greek spirit. It is a story that continues to resonate thousands of years later, reminding us of the enduring power of democracy and the importance of standing up for what we believe in, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. Unfortunately, the mists of time obscure the precise details of Aristides' birth and early childhood. Ancient sources, often more interested in grand narratives than biographical minutiae, leave us with tantalizing glimpses rather than a complete picture. We do know that he was born around 530 BCE into a family of moderate wealth and standing in Athens. His father Lysimachus likely ensured that young Aristides received a traditional Athenian education, one that emphasized physical prowess, musical talent, and oratory skills. While we can speculate about the specifics of his early years, it's safe to assume that Aristides grew up steeped in the Athenian ideals of civic duty, personal honor, and a deep love for his city-state. Imagine him as a boy, listening wide-eyed to tales of Athenian heroes, of legendary battles won against all odds. Picture him engaged in lively discussions in the agora, absorbing the cut and thrust of Athenian political debate. These formative experiences would have instilled in him the values that would come to define his life and legacy. From a young age, Aristides would have understood the weight of responsibility that came with being a citizen of Athens, a city that prided itself on its democratic principles and the active participation of its citizenry. Little did he know that he was destined to play a pivotal role in shaping the destiny of Athens and, indeed, the entire Greek world. Section 2. Early signs of character, integrity, and action. Although the details of Aristides' youth remain elusive, ancient historians and biographers agree that even as a young man he exhibited the qualities that would later earn him the epithet, the just. He possessed an unwavering sense of fairness, a commitment to honesty that bordered on the extreme, and an aversion to deceit or manipulation. These traits, while admirable, would also earn him his fair share of rivals and enemies throughout his political career. Plutarch, a Greek biographer writing centuries after Aristides' time, recounts an anecdote that perfectly encapsulates the young Athenian's unwavering moral compass. According to Plutarch, Aristides was once approached by a man who asked him to write down a name on a piece of pottery, a common Athenian voting method known as ostracism. This practice, while intended to safeguard Athenian democracy, was often used by unscrupulous politicians to exile rivals or those deemed inconvenient. The man, illiterate and unaware of Aristides' identity, promised him a handsome reward if he would simply write down the name Aristides. The statesman, unfazed, inquired after the man's reason for wanting this particular name inscribed. The man replied, "No particular reason, except that I'm tired of hearing him called the Just." Aristides, without a word of complaint or judgment, took the pottery shard and inscribed his own name, a testament to his integrity and his unwavering belief in the principles of justice, even when they were used against him. Section 3. The rise of a statesman navigating Athenian politics. As Aristides matured, his innate sense of justice, combined with his sharp intellect and eloquence, drew him into the tumultuous world of Athenian politics. He aligned himself with the aristocratic faction, led by the esteemed statesman Cleisthenes, who had played a pivotal role in establishing the foundations of Athenian democracy. Under Cleisthenes' guidance, Aristides honed his political skills, learning the intricacies of Athenian governance and the art of persuasion in the Athenian assembly. The political landscape of Athens in the late 6th century BCE was a complex and ever-shifting terrain. Power struggles between aristocratic families, ambitious demagogues vying for popular support, and the constant threat of external enemies created a volatile environment where political fortunes could rise and fall with alarming rapidity. Despite these challenges, Aristides' reputation for honesty and integrity, qualities not always associated with Athenian politicians, began to garner him respect and influence. He emerged as a voice of reason and moderation in a political arena, often characterized by heated rhetoric and personal attacks. His commitment to serving the best interests of Athens, even at the expense of his own popularity, set him apart from many of his contemporaries. Aristides' political star was on the rise, but the greatest test of his leadership and his commitment to his city was yet to come. The looming threat from the east, from the mighty Persian Empire, would soon demand everything from Aristides and his fellow Athenians. Section 4. On the Path to Greatness, the Eve of Conflict. By the turn of the 5th century BCE, the Persian Empire, under the ambitious King Darius I, cast a long shadow over the Greek world. Their relentless expansion had brought them to the very doorstep of the Greek city-states, and the clash between these two vastly different civilizations seemed inevitable. For men like Aristides, who had dedicated their lives to serving Athens, the impending conflict presented a profound challenge and an opportunity to demonstrate their unwavering loyalty and courage. The first Persian invasion of Greece in 492 BCE served as a stark warning to the Greeks. Although the Persians suffered setbacks and were ultimately repelled, their military might and sheer determination to subdue the Greek city-states were undeniable. Athens, as a leading power in the Greek world and a staunch advocate for Greek independence, found itself squarely in the crosshairs of the Persian war machine. The years leading up to the Second Persian invasion were a time of intense preparation and political maneuvering for Athens. Aristides, now a respected and influential figure in Athenian politics, played a crucial role in shaping the Athenian response to the Persian threat. He understood that the survival of Athens, and indeed of Greek civilization itself, depended on unity, strategic alliances, and the unwavering courage of its citizens. The coming conflict would test Aristides' mettle like never before, pushing him to the limits of his physical and moral strength as he led his fellow Athenians in defense of their city and their way of life. The year 490 BCE marked a turning point in the history of ancient Greece, a year that would forever etch the names of Marathon and its heroes into the annals of legend. It was the year the seemingly invincible Persian war machine, led by the vengeful Darius I, descended upon the shores of Greece, its objective clear: to crush Athenian resistance and make the city-state an example to any who dared defy the might of the Persian Empire. For Aristides, this was not merely a clash of armies. It was a battle for the very soul of Athens, a fight for the survival of the democratic ideals he held dear. The Persian army, vast and imposing, vastly outnumbered the Athenian forces. Fear gripped the hearts of many as the news of the Persian landing at Marathon, a coastal plain just 26 miles from Athens, spread like wildfire. Yet amidst the uncertainty and trepidation, Aristides stood firm, a beacon of resolve, in the face of overwhelming odds. He understood that the fate of Athens, and perhaps the future of Greece, hinged on the outcome of this battle. There could be no compromise, no surrender, only unwavering resistance against the Persian onslaught. As the two armies lined up on the plains of Marathon, the tension was palpable. The Persians, confident in their superior numbers, anticipated a swift and decisive victory. They had not accounted for the unwavering courage and tactical acumen of the Athenian hoplites, heavily armed citizen soldiers fighting not just for territory but for their freedom. Among these warriors stood Aristides, his heart filled with a potent mix of dread and determination. The clash, when it came, was brutal and chaotic, a maelstrom of bronze, blood, and unwavering courage. The Battle of Marathon was not only a clash of civilizations, but also a crucible that forged rivalries and alliances that would shape the destiny of Athens. It was during this tumultuous period that the contrasting personalities and strategic visions of Aristides and Themistocles, two rising stars in Athenian politics, came to the forefront. While both men were undeniably patriotic and dedicated to the defense of Athens, their approaches to dealing with the Persian threat differed significantly, leading to friction and political maneuvering. Aristides, ever the pragmatist, favored a more cautious approach. He recognized the importance of maintaining a strong land army, the backbone of Athenian defense. He believed that by strengthening their defenses and forging alliances with other Greek city-states, they could present a united front against future Persian aggression. Themistocles, on the other hand, possessed a more daring and innovative strategic vision. He argued that the future of Athenian security lay in establishing a powerful navy, capable of challenging Persian dominance at sea. Their differing views on how best to protect Athens from the Persians created a rift in Athenian politics. Aristides, wary of Themistocles' ambitious naval plans and concerned about the financial burden it would place on the Athenian people, opposed his rival's proposals. Themistocles, a master of persuasion and political maneuvering, countered by accusing Aristides of being short-sighted and failing to grasp the strategic importance of naval power. The stage was set for a power struggle between these two titans of Athenian politics, a clash of personalities and visions that would have a profound impact on the course of the Persian Wars. The years following the victory at Marathon were a time of uneasy peace for Athens. The threat from Persia remained, a spectre haunting the collective consciousness of the Athenian people. Amidst this atmosphere of uncertainty and fear, the political rivalry between Aristides and Themistocles intensified, further dividing a city already grappling with the challenges of preparing for another inevitable confrontation with the Persian Empire. The Athenian system of ostracism, originally intended as a safeguard against tyranny, became a weapon wielded by political rivals to eliminate their opponents. In 482 BCE, Themistocles and his supporters orchestrated a masterful political maneuver, swaying the Athenian assembly to vote for Aristides' ostracism. The charges leveled against Aristides were often vague and unsubstantiated, focusing on his growing influence and his opposition to Themistocles' ambitious naval plans. Despite the injustice of his exile, Aristides accepted the verdict with his characteristic stoicism and dignity. He believed that the good of Athens, even if it meant his temporary removal from the political stage, should always come first. As he prepared to depart from the city he loved, a poignant anecdote recounted by Plutarch highlights Aristides' unwavering commitment to justice. An illiterate citizen, unaware of Aristides' identity, approached him and asked him to write the name Aristides on the ostracon, the piece of pottery used as a ballot. Intrigued, Aristides inquired as to why the man wanted to ostracize him. The man replied, "Because I'm tired of hearing him called the just." Without a word of complaint or resentment, Aristides took the ostracon and inscribed his own name, a testament to his integrity, even when confronted with pettiness and injustice. The years following Aristides' ostracism were marked by a dramatic escalation of the Persian threat. Darius I, his thirst for vengeance unquenched, had been succeeded by his ambitious son, Xerxes I, who vowed to avenge his father's defeat at Marathon and bring the Greek city-states to their knees. In 480 BCE, Xerxes launched the second Persian invasion of Greece, leading an immense army and navy across the Hellespont, determined to crush all resistance in his path. Faced with this existential threat, the Athenian assembly, recognizing the gravity of the situation and the need for unity, recalled Aristides from exile. His strategic acumen, unwavering patriotism, and reputation for fairness made him an invaluable asset in this time of peril. Putting aside their past differences, Aristides and Themistocles joined forces. their combined talents and experience forming a formidable duo that would guide Athens through its darkest hour. Upon his return to Athens, Aristides found the city in a state of controlled chaos. Citizens were frantically preparing for the inevitable clash with the Persians. Themistocles, true to his vision, had used the intervening years to build a powerful Athenian navy, the fleet that would prove crucial in the coming confrontation. Aristides, recognizing the wisdom of Themistocles' foresight, threw his support behind his former rival, demonstrating his willingness to prioritize the needs of Athens above personal ambition or past grievances. The Battle of Salamis, a pivotal naval engagement fought in the narrow straits between the Athenian port of Piraeus and the island of Salamis, would become a testament to Athenian naval prowess and a turning point in the Persian Wars. It was here, in the confined waters of the straits, that the combined Greek fleet, led by the Athenian contingent, would deliver a decisive blow against the numerically superior Persian navy. And it was Aristides, with his characteristic blend of courage and strategic cunning, who played a key role in securing this momentous victory. The Persian fleet, vast and imposing, entered the narrow straits of Salamis, confident in their superior numbers. They had not accounted for the tactical brilliance of Themistocles and the daring of the Athenian sailors, who used their knowledge of the local waters to their advantage. Aristides, recognizing an opportunity to exploit the Persians' overconfidence, devised a daring plan. He would lead a small contingent of Athenian hoplites on a covert mission to capture the island of Psyttaleia, strategically located near the entrance of the straits. This daring maneuver served two crucial purposes. Firstly, it cut off the Persian fleet's escape route from the straits, trapping them in a confined space where their superior numbers became a liability. Secondly, it sent a clear message to the wavering Greek allies that Athens was fully committed to the fight and that victory was within reach. The Battle of Salamis, a chaotic and brutal clash of ships and men, raged throughout the day. The Athenian triremes, maneuverable and expertly handled, inflicted heavy casualties on the larger, less agile Persian warships. The capture of Psyttaleia proved to be a decisive factor in the Greek victory. With their escape route blocked and their morale shattered, the Persian fleet was routed, their dreams of conquering Greece sinking beneath the waves. The Battle of Salamis was a triumph for Athenian naval power, a testament to the vision of Themistocles and the strategic brilliance of Aristides. It marked a turning point in the Persian Wars, shifting the balance of power in favor of the Greeks and paving the way for the eventual expulsion of the Persian invaders from Greek soil. The resounding victory at Salamis sent shockwaves throughout the ancient world. The seemingly invincible Persian war machine had been dealt a crippling blow, its dreams of conquering Greece shattered against the rocks of Athenian resolve. Yet, the war was far from over. The threat of another Persian invasion loomed large, a spectre haunting the collective consciousness of the Greek city-states. In the aftermath of this momentous victory, a new chapter in Greek history was about to be written, one that would see the rise of Athens as a dominant power and the establishment of an alliance that would shape the political landscape of the Aegean world for decades to come, the Delian League. The Greek city-states, emboldened by their triumph at Salamis and recognizing the need for continued unity to safeguard their newfound security, convened to chart a course for the future. The question of leadership was paramount. Athens, with its powerful navy and its proven track record of leadership during the Persian Wars, emerged as the natural candidate to head this nascent alliance. However, the transition from a loose coalition of independent city-states to a formalized alliance was fraught with challenges. Suspicions ran deep, old rivalries resurfaced, and the question of how to distribute the burdens and benefits of collective defense threatened to unravel this fragile unity. It was against this backdrop of uncertainty and political maneuvering that Aristides, his reputation for fairness and integrity preceding him, stepped forward to play a pivotal role in the formation of the Delian League. The Delian League, formally established in 478 BCE, was conceived as a defensive alliance aimed at protecting the Greek city-states from future Persian aggression. Its primary objective was to liberate Greek cities still under Persian rule and to create a security buffer against further incursions from the east. The alliance, named after the sacred island of Delos, where its treasury was initially housed, brought together a diverse group of Greek city-states, each pledging ships, men, or financial contributions to the common defense. Aristides, recognizing that a sustainable alliance required a fair and equitable distribution of its burdens, was entrusted with the crucial task of determining each member state's contribution. His reputation for impartiality and his unwavering commitment to justice made him the ideal candidate for this sensitive role. He understood that the success of the Delian League hinged not only on military might, but also on fostering a sense of shared purpose and mutual trust among its members. Under Aristides' guidance, a system of contributions known as the Phoros was established. Each member state was assessed based on its economic capacity, ensuring that the burden of defense was shared proportionally. This approach, a testament to Aristides' commitment to fairness, fostered a sense of unity and prevented resentment among the smaller city-states that might have otherwise felt exploited by their more powerful Athenian allies. Aristides' role in the establishment of the Delian League extended far beyond his initial task of determining member contributions. His wisdom, integrity, and diplomatic skills were instrumental in shaping the League's structure, ensuring its stability during its formative years. He understood that a successful alliance required more than just a common enemy. It needed a shared vision, a set of principles that could guide its actions and foster a sense of collective identity among its diverse membership. Aristides worked tirelessly to establish mechanisms for conflict resolution within the League, recognizing that disagreements and disputes were inevitable in any alliance of independent states. He advocated for diplomacy and compromise, seeking to find solutions that benefited the collective good rather than allowing personal ambition or intercity rivalries to undermine the League's unity. His efforts helped to create an environment where even the smallest member states felt heard and respected, ensuring that the Delian League was not simply an instrument of Athenian dominance, but a genuine partnership based on mutual respect and shared interests. Under Aristides' guidance, the Delian League flourished, evolving from a hastily assembled coalition into a well-organized and powerful alliance that effectively deterred further Persian aggression and ushered in a golden age of peace and prosperity for the Greek world. While Aristides' wisdom and integrity were instrumental in the Delian League's early successes, the seeds of discord were already being sown. The very factors that made Athens a natural leader, its powerful navy, its strategic location, and its ambitions for expansion, also bred resentment and suspicion among some of its allies. The fine line between leadership and domination was easily blurred, and the temptation for Athens to leverage its position for its own benefit was ever present. As the Delian League grew in power and influence, so too did Athenian ambitions. The original goals of the alliance, liberating Greek cities from Persian rule and ensuring collective security, gradually gave way to a more assertive foreign policy, one driven by Athenian interests and fueled by the ambitions of a new generation of Athenian leaders, less inclined to exercise the same restraint and commitment to fairness that had characterized Aristides' tenure. The transformation of the Delian League from a defensive alliance into an Athenian empire, while perhaps inevitable given the power dynamics at play, marked a departure from the principles of equality and mutual respect upon which it had been founded. Aristides, though no longer at the helm of Athenian politics, witnessed this shift with a heavy heart. He understood that the pursuit of power, unchecked by principles of justice and fairness, could corrupt even the noblest of endeavors. The Delian League, once a beacon of Greek unity and a testament to the power of collective action, was slowly but surely morphing into an instrument of Athenian imperialism, its legacy forever tarnished by the seeds of discord sown in the shadow of its triumphs. The epithet the Just, more than a nickname. In the annals of history, few individuals earn epithets that transcend mere nicknames and become synonymous with their very essence. Aristides, the Athenian statesman and general, stands as a shining example of this rare phenomenon. He was not known simply as Aristides the Wise, though his strategic acumen was undeniable, nor as Aristides the Victorious, though his contributions to Athenian military triumphs were significant. No, history remembers him as Aristides the Just, a testament to the indelible mark his unwavering commitment to fairness and integrity left on the Athenian psyche and indeed on the Western ideal of justice itself. To understand the profound significance of this epithet, we must delve into the Athenian context. In a society where political maneuvering, self-serving ambition, and cunning rhetoric often held sway, Aristides stood as a beacon of unwavering moral rectitude. His commitment to justice was not a calculated political strategy. It was the bedrock of his character, the guiding principle that informed every aspect of his public and private life. This unwavering commitment to fairness earned him both admiration and resentment. While many Athenians respected his integrity, recognizing in him a rare breed of leader who placed the common good above personal gain, others viewed his unyielding principles as a liability, a hindrance in a world where pragmatism and expediency often trumped ethical considerations. Yet it is this very unwavering commitment to justice, even when it clashed with political expediency or personal ambition, that has secured Aristides' place as an enduring icon of integrity, his name synonymous with the very essence of fairness for millennia to come. Aristides' commitment to justice was not merely an abstract ideal, it manifested concretely in his actions and decisions throughout his long and illustrious career. From his early days as a rising star in Athenian politics to his pivotal role in shaping the Delian League, his unwavering commitment to fairness left an enduring legacy, shaping not only the course of Athenian history, but also serving as a timeless example of integrity in action. One of the most striking examples of Aristides' commitment to justice can be seen in his handling of the Athenian treasury following the Greek victory at Salamis. In the aftermath of this momentous triumph, with vast amounts of Persian gold and silver at their disposal, the temptation for Athenian leaders to enrich themselves or to use the spoils of war to further their own political ambitions must have been immense. Yet Aristides, entrusted with the responsibility of overseeing the distribution of these riches, remained steadfast in his commitment to fairness. He insisted on a transparent and equitable distribution of the spoils, ensuring that every Athenian citizen received their rightful share, regardless of their social standing or political affiliation. This act, while seemingly unremarkable to modern sensibilities, stood in stark contrast to the prevailing norms of the ancient world, where victors often claimed the lion's share of the spoils, leaving the common people to fend for themselves. Perhaps the most enduring aspect of Aristides' legacy is his unwavering integrity. In a world where power and corruption often went hand in hand, In an era when political leaders routinely used their positions for personal gain, Aristides stood as a stark counterexample, a testament to the possibility of wielding power with a conscience, even amidst the cutthroat realities of Athenian politics. His integrity was not merely a matter of personal virtue, it was a conscious choice, a deliberate rejection of the cynical pragmatism that often characterized political life in ancient Athens. He understood that true leadership stemmed not from manipulating others to achieve one's ends, but from inspiring them by example, by demonstrating that power, when wielded with integrity and a commitment to the common good, could be a force for positive change. This unwavering integrity earned Aristides the respect of his fellow citizens, even those who disagreed with his policies. His reputation for fairness preceded him, his word considered as good as gold. When he spoke in the Athenian assembly, his words carried weight not simply because of his eloquence or his political acumen, but because they emanated from a man known for his unwavering honesty and his genuine concern for the welfare of Athens. In a world where political power often corrupted, Aristides stood as a beacon of integrity, a testament to the enduring power of principled leadership. A legacy overshadowed the enigma of Aristides' fame. History, like a fickle artist, often chooses to highlight certain figures on its vast canvas while relegating others equally deserving to the background. Aristides, despite his pivotal role in shaping Athenian history and embodying the very essence of justice, finds himself cast in this perplexing shadow play of historical recognition. While names like Themistocles, Pericles, and Socrates reverberate through the ages, instantly recognizable even to those with a passing acquaintance with ancient Greece, Aristides remains an enigma, a figure whose contributions, though undeniable, seem to have faded from popular memory. How can we reconcile Aristides' profound impact on Athenian society, his unwavering integrity, and his pivotal role in securing Athenian victory against the Persians with this curious lack of widespread recognition? Perhaps the answer lies in the very nature of his virtues. Justice, unlike ambition or military prowess, rarely lends itself to grand narratives or heroic tales that capture the imagination. Aristides was not a charismatic leader who rallied his troops with fiery speeches, or a cunning strategist who outwitted his opponents with daring maneuvers. He was a man of quiet determination, a steadfast advocate for fairness and equity, whose contributions, though essential, often played out behind the scenes in the intricate details of governance and the often thankless task of ensuring that justice was served. His was a legacy forged not in the heat of battle, but in the quiet dignity of a life lived according to principles, a legacy that, while perhaps less dazzling than that of his more celebrated contemporaries, nonetheless forms an integral thread in the rich tapestry of Athenian history. The contrast of styles Aristides and Themistocles compared. To understand the complexities of Aristides' legacy and the factors that contributed to his relative obscurity, it's helpful to compare him to his contemporary and, at times, rival, Themistocles. These two towering figures of Athenian politics, though united in their patriotism and their determination to defend Athens against the Persian threat, embodied contrasting leadership styles and approaches to governance, differences that would ultimately shape their respective legacies. Themistocles, a shrewd politician and a master strategist, possessed a natural charisma and a gift for persuasion that Aristides lacked. He understood the power of spectacle, of grand gestures and bold pronouncements that captured the imagination of the Athenian people. His decision to invest heavily in the Athenian navy, a gamble that ultimately proved decisive in securing victory against the Persians at Salamis, cemented his reputation as a visionary leader, willing to take risks to ensure Athenian dominance. Aristides, in contrast, was a figure of quiet determination, a man of principle rather than spectacle. He believed in the power of consensus, of reasoned debate, and above all in the importance of governing with fairness and integrity. While Themistocles excelled at winning over the Athenian assembly with his eloquence and his bold pronouncements, Aristides commanded respect through his unwavering commitment to justice and his reputation for always putting the interests of Athens above his own. Their contrasting styles, while both contributing significantly to Athenian success, ultimately led to vastly different legacies. Themistocles, the charismatic visionary, became a legend in his own time, his name synonymous with Athenian naval might and strategic brilliance. Aristides, the steadfast advocate for justice, found himself relegated to the background, his contributions, though no less significant, overshadowed by the grand narratives of military triumphs and political maneuvering. Enduring principles, the timeless relevance of the just. Despite his relative obscurity in the grand narrative of ancient Greek history, Aristides' legacy holds a timeless relevance, reminding us that true leadership transcends the pursuit of power or fame. It lies in the unwavering commitment to principles, in the courage to stand for what is right, even when it clashes with political expediency or personal ambition. In a world often characterized by cynicism and self-serving pragmatism, Aristides stands as a beacon of integrity, reminding us that the pursuit of justice, though often challenging and rarely glamorous, remains an essential component of a just and equitable society. Aristides' epithet, the just, transcends the boundaries of time and culture, resonating with a universal human desire for fairness, equity, and ethical leadership. His story reminds us that true power lies not in manipulating others to achieve one's ends, but in inspiring them by example, by demonstrating that integrity and a commitment to the common good are not weaknesses, but sources of enduring strength. In an era grappling with complex challenges from political polarization to economic inequality, Aristides' legacy serves as a timely reminder that the pursuit of a just and equitable society requires leaders who prioritize the common good over personal gain, who champion fairness and integrity, and who understand that true leadership lies not in wielding power but in serving others. Aristides, though a product of his time, embodies timeless principles that remain as relevant today as they were in the tumultuous world of ancient Athens. Section 4. A Legacy Rediscovered. Finding Aristides in the Modern World. While Aristides may not occupy the same prominent position in popular imagination as some of his more flamboyant contemporaries, his legacy is ripe for rediscovery in the 21st century. In an era grappling with a crisis of trust in leadership and yearning for authenticity and integrity, Aristides' story offers a refreshing antidote to the cynicism and disillusionment that often pervade modern political discourse. His unwavering commitment to justice, his willingness to prioritize the common good above personal ambition, and his quiet dignity in the face of adversity stand as powerful reminders that true leadership transcends the pursuit of power or fame. Aristides' legacy challenges us to re-examine our own definitions of success, to recognize that true fulfillment lies not in accumulating wealth or achieving personal recognition, but in dedicating ourselves to something larger than ourselves, in striving to make a positive impact on the world around us. As we navigate the complexities of the modern world, facing challenges that would have been unimaginable to the citizens of ancient Athens, Aristides' story offers a timeless message of hope and inspiration. It reminds us that even in the darkest of times, even when confronted with seemingly insurmountable obstacles, the human spirit, guided by principles of justice, fairness, and integrity, can triumph over adversity and create a more just and equitable world for all. By rediscovering Aristides, by delving into the depths of his character and the significance of his contributions, we embark on a journey of self-reflection. a journey that challenges us to live up to the ideals he so valiantly embodied. Section 1. The Enduring Flame of Aristides. As we conclude our journey through the life and legacy of Aristides, we find ourselves not at a gravesite, but standing before a still burning flame. This is not a flame of conquest or personal glory, the likes of which burned brightly yet all too briefly for so many figures of antiquity. Instead, it is a flame that smoulders with a quieter yet far more enduring intensity. It is the flame of integrity, of unwavering commitment to justice, and of selfless dedication to the common good. Aristides, though he walked the earth over 2.5 millennia ago, speaks to us today with a clarity that transcends the barriers of time and culture. He reminds us that true leadership is not measured by the size of one's army, the eloquence of one's speeches, or the grandeur of one's monuments. It is measured by the depth of one's commitment to principles, by the courage to stand for what is right, even when it is unpopular or inconvenient. In a world often seduced by the allure of power, wealth, and fleeting fame, Aristides' story serves as a potent antidote. He teaches us that true fulfillment lies not in accumulating accolades, but in living a life guided by principles, in using our talents and influence to create a more just and equitable world for all. His legacy, though perhaps less celebrated than that of some of his more flamboyant contemporaries, shines brightly for those willing to look beyond the surface, to seek out the quiet dignity of a life lived in service to something greater than oneself. Section 2. A timeless model for leadership. The challenges facing our world today, political polarization, economic inequality, climate change, to name but a few, may seem a world away from the concerns of ancient Athens. Yet beneath the surface we find striking parallels. We too yearn for leaders who prioritize the common good over personal gain, who champion fairness and integrity, and who understand that true leadership lies not in wielding power but in serving others. Aristides, in this sense, transcends his historical context and emerges as a timeless model for leadership. He teaches us that integrity is not a weakness, but a source of enduring strength, that fairness is not a luxury, but a necessity for a just and equitable society, and that true leadership requires courage, the courage to stand up for one's principles, to speak truth to power, and to make difficult decisions, even when they are unpopular. His story reminds us that leadership is not a position to be sought after, but a responsibility to be shouldered. It is a calling to serve, to inspire, and to empower others to create a better future. Aristides, though long gone, continues to inspire us to embrace these timeless principles, to lead with integrity, and to strive for a world where justice and fairness prevail. His legacy is a call to action, a challenge to each of us to embody these virtues in our own lives, to become, in our own way, beacons of justice in a world that desperately needs them. Section 3. Remembering Aristides, Celebrating Justice. The study of history is not merely an exercise in nostalgia, a wistful glance back at a bygone era. It is, at its core, a conversation across the ages, a dialogue with the past that illuminates the present and guides us towards a better future. In remembering Aristides, we do more than simply commemorate a historical figure. We celebrate the enduring power of justice, the timeless relevance of integrity, and the profound impact that one individual, guided by principle, can have on the course of history. As we move forward, facing the complexities and uncertainties of the 21st century, let us carry with us the flame of Aristides, the enduring flame of justice. Let it inspire us to lead with integrity, to champion fairness, and to strive for a world where the common good triumphs over self-interest. For in honoring his legacy, we honor not just a man, but the very best of humanity, the enduring belief that a just and equitable world is not a utopian dream, but a goal worth striving for, a goal that, with courage, determination, and a steadfast commitment to principle, we can achieve together. Let the memory of Aristides, the just, serve as a beacon, guiding us towards a brighter future, a future where integrity, fairness, and the common good prevail, and where the flame of justice, passed down through generations, burns brightly for all.